Ready.
And now, from the Russian Riviera along the shores of the Black Sea, welcome to Sochi, Russia, and the 2007 Mrs. World competition.
I'm ready, baby. Are you?
Tonight, women from around the world make television history in fierce competition, on stage and off.
Where's the crown? You like it? It's exciting.
Television doesn't get any more real than this.
Yeah. So excited.
And beauty competitions have never been more daring.
I'm psychologically damaged.
From the first arrivals in Moscow to a secret 2-day peace mission through a war-torn Republic of Russia.
So overwhelming, everything that I've seen today.
There is never a dull moment.
She can eat for 5 people.
And our cameras are everywhere.
I made it, baby, I made it.
Capturing the excitement, the tears, the friendships, and the feuds.
She has the greatest body. I look like crap. Her fault. She pushed me.
It's not just about beauty.
Checking me out.
It's about what happens when the heels come off.
Where's my shoes? I'm missing my shoes.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Sochi, Russia, it's Mrs. World 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the stars of VH1's My Fair Brady, a real-life Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Knight and Adrienne Curry.
Hello, America. Hello, Russia. Hello, everywhere in between. And welcome to Mrs. World 2007.
We're thrilled to be part of the first international competition devoted exclusively to the married women of the world. Tonight, our WE TV cameras invite you to all the glamour, excitement, and suspense of the Mrs. World 2007.
We will literally change one woman's life.
It's a reality television Mrs. World style.
As soon as you dress, in places.
Backstage, the ladies are making their first big costume change for tonight's show. They're busy now, and they've been keeping busy ever since their arrival here in Sochi.
We hope to meet the mayor, the deputy mayor. We're looking very much forward to it.
We're all presenting the mayor with a gift from our country. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Welcome to Sochi.
In addition to visiting local dignitaries, local landmarks, and some local eateries, the ladies also enjoy some friendly competition.
We all wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We all get ready. We all do everything we can to compete.
Ready to ski.
But the most important part of each of the 18 days in Russia is rehearsing with the choreographers.
The only part I'm nervous about is the fact that I'm in the front row for the dance, and I better get it right, because if I get it wrong, everybody else behind me gets it wrong too.
It's tiring, but let's hope for the best on the show.
I'm so terrified that I'm going to go on stage and forget my steps and dance out of step, dance out of sync, so I'd rather rehearse more.
Ladies, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Yes.
I go right here. It's terrible. It's a big mistake. I want to go home.
It's been over 2 weeks of rehearsals, learning dances, and preparing for this very night. Back at the theater, we're just about to start the Parade of Nations.
Costa Rica, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany.
Yeah, there was actually 5 people who were running late, so everyone was really paying attention.
Well, step on my tail, please.
Poland, South Africa, South Africa.
Careful.
It's probably one of the most fun parts of this event, I think. The costume. Yeah.
Facial memory.
It does.
Especially done for the freestyle chica. They start with the world, so I used to inspire the costume.
Mine represents the Alps, the Swiss Alps, which is a famous Switzerland. These are calabashes, and the women used to wear them as bras, but they don't grow them in my place, so that's why I had to put it on.
No, if I had that, I would definitely get the box.
You can't go wrong with these things.
Okay, ladies.
Not looking like the way I want it to be, but oh well. I think I'm getting close. I think I'm close.
It's already time for one of the real highlights of the Mrs. World competition. Every year, our ladies bring custom-made costume representing some aspect of their native land or its culture.
The costumes can range from the totally serious to the absolutely silly, from down to earth to out of this world. And here they are now as we present the 2007 edition of our fabulous Parade of Nations.
Mrs. America.
It's just a beautiful costume. It really represents the national anthem, and Star Spangled Banner represents my country beautifully.
Mrs. Belarus.
I'm wearing a traditional costume of Belarus. My grandmother embroidered the skirt by hand.
Mrs. Bolivia.
My costume represents the typical Bolivian field worker.
Mrs. Bulgaria.
This flower in the hair, a woman gave to a man who loved her.
Mrs. Canada.
What I chose was an Eskimo-style costume. And then, of course, I have a white muff with a red rhinestone maple leaf. The red and white are colors of our flag.
Mrs. China.
It represents the Chinese woman. It represents the delicate nature of ours.
Mrs. Costa Rica.
The dress itself is really special, just like traditional decorations of my country, and of course it's really colorful.
Mrs. Estonia.
What we did is take special features of Estonia, weave it into the fabric of the national costume.
Mrs. Finland.
In Finland we have a lot of snow and so beautiful white coloring.
Mrs. France.
I was thinking, oh my God, what a bad choice to choose Napoleon in Russia. But everybody was laughing, so it was good.
Mrs. Germany.
Everybody knows the Oktoberfest in Munich. The girls wear the dirndl, it's red one with a short skirt.
Mrs. Great Britain.
I thought that it should be something different because somebody was telling me, oh, wear a flag, British flag. But I thought that this will look very elegant and really nice on stage, so that's why I chose that.
Mrs. Guatemala.
My dress is typical of those used every day by the women of my country.
Mrs. India.
It's a sari. I mean, it's my traditional costume. But I didn't want to go the ethnic way. I tried to do something modern.
Mrs. Iran.
It has like hat with a long scarf on top of the hat, which is very unique.
Mrs. Israel.
I chose to present this costume because she reminds me of the sea. And the sea reminds me of Israel because of the stormy weather and the waves are very high. It's like in Israel.
This is Kenya.
The top, which is my bra, is actually 2 calabashes. And for my bottom, I have a leather cutting of my country, the map of my country.
This is Latvia.
My costume will be all white with flowers. These flowers is a symbol of Latvian national holiday, Ligo.
This is Malaysia.
The Empress robe, it represents everything that's grand and opulent in the Chinese heritage. I decided to get the jewelry Indian. At first, yeah, a crazy mix of old and new.
This is Mexico.
My costume represents Mexico. It's very simple, but it's very traditional from Mexico.
This is Nigeria.
It's basically a maiden costume for dance. You know, when they come out to parade themselves in front of the young men, you know, and that's what they put on.
This is Pakistan.
It has like a long scarf, you can say. Many Pakistani women, we all wear that scarf with our national costumes. So it's like a long scarf, all hand beaded, full with jewels, and it's beautiful.
This is Poland.
The most important accents are our national colors, white and red.
This is Russia.
There is a very famous fairy tale about the 3 bears, and the costume in the books looks similar to what I will wear.
This is Singapore.
My national costume has got a dragon and a phoenix. The dragon represents power and peace, whereas the phoenix represents grace and elegance.
This is Slovenia.
It's from Adrian Lenz and it's known worldwide. This dress belongs to a museum, so I have to return back.
This is South Africa.
My costume is inspired by the best rugby team in South Africa, which is the Free State Cheetahs, and I took some African elements and added them to my costume.
This is Switzerland.
I decided to do something that represents the Alps. Lots of rhinestones and fur, and I have a cape that has fur on it as well, so that all represents the snow and a scene of the actual Alps.
This is Ukraine.
I designed this costume 100% myself. We are outgoing, and we love bright colors, and the costume will have some flowers on it.
This is Venezuela.
My costume represents the gold mines, great mineral riches of my country.
How about a hand for all the ladies in all the costumes?
And right now it is time for our very first award of the evening.
Next to winning the title itself, Miss Congeniality is as important as any award can be because it's voted by the ladies themselves. And this year they've decided that Mrs. Congeniality is Mrs. Canada.
I think the toughest job in Russia tonight is narrowing all these fantastic Parade of Nations costumes down to the very best. But our judges have done it. Let's see if you agree with their choice. They've chosen the 6 top costumes in this year's competition to be...
In no particular order, the first best costume is Mrs. Malaysia. The second best would be Mrs. Iran. The third best costume will be Mrs. Fran.
As our parade of costumes marches on, let's take a closer look at the fourth best costume. Mrs. Nigeria. And number 5, Mrs. Bolivia. And the sixth and final best costume is, congratulations, Mrs. Kenya.
Congratulations, a hand for our 6 top costumes from the Parade of Nations. Our judges have made their decision, and out of all the costumes you've seen, they say the best costume of 2007 belongs to Mrs. Fran.
Coming up next on Mrs. World 2007 from Sochi, Russia. Tempers flare backstage as the contestants tell us how they really feel.
I think it's about time that we stop that.
Plus, witness some bruising competitions you don't normally see in a beauty pageant. And later, see who moves on to the top 10 as we search for the next Mrs. World.
Our first runner-up is Jamie Crawford.
7 years as runner-up could run a girl down. Not this girl.
Some people drink, some people do drugs. I do pageants.
Now Miss Runner-Up has one last chance.
She's too blonde. She's too thin.
Maybe make a change and see what happens.
This time, she'll use her head.
I love having dark hair.
And everything else she's got to turn this one into a win. Tonight at 10, it's the premiere of Miss Runner-Up, a WeTV Spotlight special.
If you have difficulty sleeping and night sweats, try Estroven PM. Menopause is a fact of life. Estroven is here to make it easier. Look for Estroven PM in the vitamin aisle.
Now Avon treats wrinkles and lines fast. Introducing a new clinical advanced wrinkle corrector. It begins boosting collagen within 48 hours. Your deepest lines begin to disappear. Call your Avon representative for a brochure and say hello tomorrow.
This Friday, experience this summer's must-see movie starring the greatest actresses of our time. From the author of The Hours.
We are mysterious creatures, aren't we?
Evening, rated PG-13.
Save up to half off on hotels over Expedia and Hotels.com. Only at Priceline.
Do you know your credit score? Do you know what's in your credit report? You can find out for free right now at freecreditreport.com.
Knowing my credit score helped me save money on my home loan.
Now we can monitor all 3 of our national credit reports every day.
It helps us save money and check for potential identity theft.
Just a few clicks, and I get my credit report and credit score free.
Log on now to freecreditreport.com.
Offer applies with the Roman Triple Advantage.
What's keeping you from getting a good night's sleep? Did you ever think it might be your bed? I'm Lindsay Wagner, and if you're not sleeping well or you wake up with back pain, please call us right now. It won't cost you a thing except a minute of your time, and we'll immediately send you this free DVD or video and brochure with all the details about the Sleep Number bed, including complete descriptions, prices, and options. And you'll have all the information you need to get a great night's sleep.
It used to take me hours to fall asleep on my old inner spring mattress. I could not find a comfortable position. Now with my Sleep Number bed, I'll be sleeping in literally minutes.
After sleeping on Sleep Number bed, I feel like I've had the best night's sleep I can get.
The Sleep Number bed is the first bed designed with your personal comfort in mind. Unlike uncomfortable steel springs, the Sleep Number bed contours to your body so your muscles begin to relax and you get a deeper, more luxurious night's sleep. Plus, the bed adjusts on both sides, which is perfect for couples. In fact, it's clinically proven to improve sleep quality and relieve back pain. And it costs about the same as a traditional innerspring mattress, but it lasts twice as long. You know, I never thought my bed was the reason I wasn't sleeping through the night. I just thought that's the way it was. But this bed is so comfortable. I fall asleep easier and I sleep right through the night. Select Comfort has been helping people like you and me sleep better for over 20 years. So I highly recommend you learn more about this bed that over 4 million Americans have switched to. Call us today.
Call 1-800-701-3311 for your free information kit with DVD or video, brochure, and price list. The Sleep Number bed is backed by the Good Housekeeping seal and is a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Queen mattresses start as low as $20 a month. Call 1-800-701-3311. Ask about a risk-free 30-night in-home trial and industry-leading 20-year limited warranty. That's 1-800-701-3311. Call now.
We've secretly switched Bob's Ocean Potion Sunblock with a leading competitor. Let's see how it compares with Jill's Ocean Potion. With new Solaplex UV filter plus antioxidant vitamins, it provides more broad-spectrum sun protection than ever. Let's see what happens.
How you doing, Jill?
I feel great, Chuck.
Bob, how about you? Well, there you have it. Ocean Potion. What's in your bottle?
Try water and sweat-resistant Ocean Potion Sport today.
Things are really great for us right now. I guess you could say an angel just fell into our lives.
An angel?
An angel from the in-home care professionals visiting angels.
I love the way my angel works with my schedule. When things come up that I just can't do, my angel is always there for me.
Visiting angels has not only improved Mom's life, but given us all peace of mind.
Visiting angels, America's choice in home care.
Welcome back to the beautiful Black Sea resort of Sochi, Russia for the 2007 Mrs. World contest.
Each and every year, Russia's beautiful seaside town of Sochi hosts more than 2 million tourists. And from the moment our ladies arrived here on the shores of the Black Sea, Mrs. World has had a love affair with Sochi and her people. And the ladies loved the town loved our ladies. As soon as the delegates arrive, they're anxious to meet their fellow contestants. But then, it's a quick trip to go out and see the sights of our lovely host city.
Sochi, the gateway to the future.
We're having so much fun. The beautiful girls are very nice. I hope that we are all have a nice time together.
Sochi stretches for miles along the coast of the Black Sea. It is one of the longest cities in the world, second only to Honolulu.
In the summer, Sochi is a beach resort. In the winter, the surrounding Caucasus Mountains offer a winter wonderland for play and sports. In fact, Sochi is joined by Pyeongchang, South Korea, and Salzburg, Austria, as the final 3 cities considered to host the 2014 Winter Olympics.
Let's go, it's pretty good. Some of the best features in Sochi are the beautiful botanical gardens.
I like being here. I have a wonderful time, and I hope someday I will come back on holiday here.
And quaint amusement parks.
He's right over there. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Governor of California.
It's very nice here to be in Sochi.
Я люблю Россия, Sochi, Moscow.
The city also boasts one of Russia's most beautiful train stations.
We are very happy to be here. Yeah, because in my country, Latvia, today was minus 25 degrees.
I'm glad to be here because it's a wonderful experience for me.
An inviting seaport.
I'm going to go home and say, honey, this is what I want my living room.
And an impressive new international airport, offering visitors many travel options.
Next, the ladies were taken high into the mountains to visit tea houses featuring Sochi's finest and the only tea grown in Russia.
As the the tea steams, the ladies enjoy a real treat.
Tasting tea and warm bread. Comfort food in cold weather.
This is delicious.
The music is very vibrant and lively, and it's been fun to kind of experience that firsthand. All girls is super and glad to meet me, and I'm glad to meet them.
Next stop, the ladies tour one of Sochi's newest and finest hotels.
This is how Mrs. Krantz deserves to live.
The luxurious accommodations are fit for a beauty queen, or many beauty queens.
After a brief workout and a swim at Rodina's Fitness Center, the ladies are ready to eat. So it's off to Stalin's Dasha, where they are treated like royalty and dine in the former leader's den.
The best experience so far for me. I mean, this is a legend. You know, you read about Stalin, he's the founder of Russia, and here I am in his dacha. I would want to say everyone has an opinion of Stalin. For some people, the greatest leader who ever lived. To others, he was a very bad man.
I don't like Stalin. It's really wonderful, and we really appreciate that you're taking a lot of the hotel. Can you arrange more of this outside even?
And so, several additional outings are planned. First, a trip to the snow.
I love the snow. It's so beautiful.
Nice and warm.
Once outfitted in the proper attire,
Ready to ski.
the ladies head to the mountain for a little fun. First, tobogganing, or sonki, as they say in Russian.
We have to go all the way up. Yeah. What is going to stop us when we get down the slope?
It's the first time in my life, but I know I can do it. I'm going to try.
This is second nature for me. You have to be born with a toboggan on your rear end.
Mrs. Canada literally hits the slopes. Then Pakistan takes a tumble.
Do we have to do this again? I hope not.
Several glide down the hill together.
This is the first time I've been on a toboggan. And it's fun, though I'm scared.
And some decide to make it a race.
Tobogganing can't possibly be that hard. So one of the producers decides to show the ladies how it's done.
Peter, are you alive?
No, stop it. Better me doing a crazy flip than one of the ladies, right?
Oh,
trying to make it fun.
Facing more injuries, the ladies move on to something safe. A contest, building the best snow woman. When the snow is uncooperative,
I know what packing snow is, and this is not it.
the contest dissolves into a snow fight.
But these gals are competitors, so once again, they dig in and give it all they got.
Tell me where it is.
Ah, yes.
Although there are many interesting and creative entries, the judges select Mrs. Sochi 2014 as the winner, with hopes that she'll bring them good luck in their bid for the Winter Olympics.
Number one!
After a full day in the snow, the ladies are ready to generate some heat.
An evening of singing, dining, and dancing brings a happy ending to another lovely day.
We'll get to the top 10, and then we are going to break in the action there. And at that point, I'm going to give you another envelope that we're going to add 2 more to the 10 to make it 12.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the most beautiful married women in the world, the contestants for Mrs. World 2007.
When we do fitness and photogenic, after photogenic, we have to cross down from 1 to 2, right? Well, ladies, I guess the first thing we should do is congratulate each and every one of you. And before we take another step, we have still more winners.
That's right. When you take a look at these women, our ladies are all in terrific shape, but the judges say that this year's Mrs. Fitness is Mrs. Russia.
And how about taking a look at these beautiful national winners and finding the most photogenic of them all? Now, there's a difficult task. But thanks to our judges, we do have a winner. This year's Mrs. Photogenic is Mrs. Finland. When we come back, we'll announce our top 10 semifinalists. So stick around and see if you agree with our judges.
Coming up on this edition of the 2007 Mrs. World Contest.
We're in Moscow and we are about to go into the Red Square. Follow me. Yeah.
Then, a surprise visit to a secret destination.
And the good luck in the contest visit Sochi. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
And later, sparks fly backstage.
Seriously, what's the criteria you choose to talk about? The dumbest?
Plus, we'll announce the top 10 contestants when Mrs. World 2007 from Sochi, Russia continues.
On the next Secret Lives of Women.
That's the money shot. Case closed.
Men cheat for more sexual reasons.
I'm just looking for the attention that I'm not getting from my husband.
When these guys chase me, it's like a rush.
Having an affair was a lot of fun for me. I felt like somebody actually noticed me.
Cheaters.
I destroyed my family by having an affair.
Tomorrow at 10 p.m. on the WeTV hit series, Secret Lives of Women.
If you could travel like this, for the same price as this, why wouldn't you?
It's the same with auto insurance. With discounts up to 40%, it's possible to get the personal service of a State Farm agent for the same or less than those other guys. Call an agent 24/7 or visit statefarm.com.
Hey, Mom, check out Toby's new trick.
Toby!
Time to get your carpet cleaned? Call today about our $99 special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets carpet cleaner.
Introducing new Banana Boat Sport. The only one with Avo Triplex. UVA UVB protection that lasts even longer. Unlike ordinary sunblocks, it just won't quit. Banana Boat Sport. Play out.
More dresses.
exist in more styles than you can possibly imagine at Macy's.
My name is Kelly, and I lost 55 pounds on the Nutrisystem program.
I'm a 40-year-old mom, and I think I look better than ever.
With Nutrisystem, I went from the size 24 to a size 10, and it's been a great ride.
You can't miss the results of Nutrisystem Nourish, the weight loss program that lets you eat great and lose weight.
My name is Kara, and I lost 30 pounds on Nutrisystem. My whole body has changed completely.
I feel confident. I feel sexier. I feel like I'm me again.
Call or go online now to order and start losing weight today. Through this special limited time offer, you'll be eligible to receive 2 weeks of Nutrisystem meals free.
The Nutrisystem foods are great. I can't wait to try them all.
The chocolate is amazing.
I can't think of any other diet I've tried where I was allowed to eat chocolate, and I love chocolate.
Our secret is the breakthrough science of the glycemic advantage that separates good carbs from bad. Now, carbs are no longer off limits, and there are no limits to how good you'll feel.
I love my new body.
My husband feels like he has the old Kelly back. So here I am, a grandmother, and I can still look sexy in a bikini.
Every perfectly portioned Nutrisystem meal is delivered right to your door.
There's no counting, no measuring, and no embarrassing weigh-ins.
All you have to do is eat, and the weight just falls off.
If you want real results, the kind that let everyone you love see the new you, the real you, then you have to order Nutrisystem today.
I love my new body. Thanks to Nutrisystem. My husband loves my new body. In fact, he jokingly calls me his trophy wife.
Plus, it's affordable. For about $10 a day, you'll enjoy perfectly portioned, delicious meals, and your shipping is free. But there's more. Order now, and you'll be eligible to receive an extra 14 breakfasts, 14 lunches, 14 dinners, and 14 desserts. 2 full weeks of food absolutely free.
It's never too late to start, and I am a perfect example of that.
Nutrisystem works. Why stay heavy another day?
See how Nutrisystem can change your body, and you can get a full 2 weeks of food absolutely free. Call now to find out how.
Gotta have the latest style and beauty trends? Get insider tips at WeTV.com.
We're back for the search for a new Mrs. World from the Winter Theater in Sochi, Russia.
And now we take a major step in tonight's search to find the one woman to best represent the hundreds of millions of married women around the world.
That's right. It's time to narrow down the search and announce our top 10 semifinalists. One of them will be the brand new Mrs. World.
The names are in no particular order. I have the envelope. Good luck, ladies. Our very first semifinalist is Mrs. Germany.
One down, 9 to go. Number 2 is Mrs. Estonia.
Next, congratulations to the third semifinalist, Mrs. China.
Three down, 7 more names to be called. And the fourth lady to be called is Mrs. Israel.
Our fifth semifinalist is Mrs. Kenya.
Five down, 5 more to go. Has your favorite made it yet? We're almost there with Mrs. America.
Number 7, come on down, Mrs. Ukraine.
Bringing in our 8th semifinalist, she is Mrs. Guatemala.
We need just 2 more names to fill out our top 10, and that 9th name is Mrs. Poland.
Our 10th semifinalist is Mrs. South Africa.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Before the evening is over, one of these lovely, lucky ladies will begin her reign as the brand new Mrs. World. There's a whole lot more to winning Mrs. World than just smiling pretty or filling out a swimsuit. 2 of our ladies earned their way into the ranks of our semifinalists by competing in a special bonus competition.
Those competitions range from bowling, downhill skiing, hockey, and speed skating. Games just like Sochi hopes to host in the 2014 Winter Olympics. But why tell you when we can show you?
The women are judged in 4 categories. Points are given in each. The swimsuit competition equals 25% of the score. Evening gowns, another 25%. And the one-on-one judges' interviews represent 50% of the individual's scores.
This is my first pageant that I'm judging, but, after meeting these women and realizing that, your decision affects somebody's life for the rest of their life.
This is a tough job. I'm amazed at how tough this is. Very, very surprised.
Just days before the show, judges see the ladies in action and begin scoring them during a preliminary show. First up, swimsuits.
I'm ready, lady. I can't believe I'm going in a swimsuit in front of a crowd. She has the greatest body. I look like crap.
The judges also score the evening gowns during the preliminaries, along with national costumes.
My costume represents Napoleon. I do remember that, unfortunately, Napoleon did go out to Russia. But this evening, I would like you to look at me as a new Napoleon, a Napoleon of the 21st century, a Napoleon for peace and friendship. Thank you, Spasiba.
You should have seen the prelims yesterday, Arthur. Everybody, they were doing something. And then some priest. Livia is everywhere. I just love to eat for 5 people. For my energy. She wanted to introduce her costume. She's like, hello, my costume represents... Duh. She said I was hungry. I didn't remember what I was. She said like, I forgot. My costume. Your costume represents food. You have food all over. My blessed woman. You are a blessed woman. My costume represents... I am hungry. If I'm not eating it, I'm wearing it.
Ladies, please stop. And ladies, please begin.
Because the beauty is not skin deep.
Each delegate has a 4-minute interview with each judge.
I have 2 bachelor degrees, one business administration marketing, and another one is mathematics. I like cycling.
Once the scores are tallied, the judges select the top 10 semifinalists.
I think everyone here is super women. You're going to have a tough time judging us.
Good fortune is shining on these ladies because this year, 2 additional women will make their way into the top 10, making it a top 12. To do this, the women have been competing in a variety of bonus competitions, thus giving 2 more contestants a chance at the crown.
I think competition is very healthy. I mean, if you don't have competition, you will never bring out the best in anybody. You have to go skating, you have to go skiing, you have to... Oh my God, I was thinking, I'm not sporty at all. But it was a great experience.
They're ready to go, and they're some of the first people to ever ski these slopes that are normally reserved for Russian President Putin.
First, Finland. Next, Switzerland.
Poland and I, we actually were doing a race, so it was kind of fun.
Estonia runs into some trouble.
I'm happy that I did it.
But it is Mrs. Rand who finishes first. Mrs. Canada starts the cross-country race. Mexico stalls.
Call AAA.
But Mrs. Pakistan runs to the rescue and gives her a friendly shove.
This is my first time cross-country skiing, and I'm having so much fun.
Who knows, I might be the first Kenyan to represent my country in the Olympics 2014 in Sochi.
I think I'm going to do the best.
And she does do the best, taking first place.
Next, we're off to the rink for ice hockey. Some are willing to try.
It's fine. Easy.
Others need a little encouragement. But eventually these all-stars get the hang of it and score.
China gives Kenya a run for first place, as does Germany. But Canada prevails, taking home the gold.
Next, the ladies kick it up a notch, testing their agility and speed in a sprint.
I'm going to take it. I win it. I win it. No, you're gonna. I'm going to me.
One does win. Mrs. Venezuela takes the prize.
Some ladies opt for an indoor sport, bowling. These international beauties, all in good form, know the sport.
So I wanted to go right in the middle and get it straight. Is that what it takes, right?
Venezuela picks up a spare. But it's Bulgaria's strike that wins her the gold. The most remarkable women's competition in the world always has something just a little bit extra. That's why our top 10 is actually the top 12. And as we add 2 extra ladies who earned their way into the ranks by competing in our special bonus competitions.
When we come back, we'll announce the names of the 2 extra ladies who literally fought their way into our top 12 semifinalists. Believe me, they are winners.
Coming up on the 2007 Mrs. World contest from Sochi, Russia.
I was kind of wondering why we have so much security.
The contestants journey on a secret mission inside Russia.
What a transition from what I saw on the television, the buildings broken and wars. I made it, baby, I made it.
Plus the semifinalists compete in the swimsuit competition.
And I'm going to be the Mrs. World because I'm going to be the most powerful woman in Asia in 5 years' time.
Not everyone is happy with the selection of the 2 bonus winners. All that and more when the Mrs. World 2007 contest from Sochi, Russia continues.
Our first runner-up. Runner-up is Jamie Crawford.
7 years as runner-up could run a girl down. Not this girl.
Some people drink, some people do drugs. How do you balance?
Now Miss Runner-Up has one last chance.
She's too blonde. She's too thin.
Maybe make a change and see what happens.
This time, she'll use her head.
I love having dark hair.
And everything else she's got to turn this one into a win. Tonight at 10, it's the premiere of Miss Runner-Up, a WeTV Spotlight special.
Imagine the crisp, clean feeling of tropical waters in your fabrics. Introducing Tahitian Waterfall, an invigorating new scent from Downy. Imagine the soothing warmth of a summer morning in your fabrics. Introducing a comforting new scent from Downy, new cashmere and silk fresh. For a sample, go to downy.com.
Where do you go when you go to bed? Do you go to a place where you can find both rest for your body and peace for your mind? A place where the pressures of the day seem to just melt away? Or is it just a bed? Because if it is just a bed, we'd like to suggest another destination. Welcome to Tempur-Pedic. At Tempur-Pedic, we don't simply bring you a bed to sleep on. We bring you the promise of nighttime renewal for body and mind. At Tempur-Pedic, we believe your bed should make stress go away. Imagine feeling cushioned, enveloped, almost weightless. It's like no other bed you have ever experienced for a truly restorative, stress-free rest. Your bed should relieve your pain, not add to it. Thick padding and pillow tops only disguise a simple truth. A bed of metal springs with hundreds of pressure points push against your body all night. But our unique Swedish Tempur material is designed to take the pressure away. Your bed should always give you comfort. Our authentic Tempur material also adjusts to you. Soft where you want it and firm where it needs to be. And unlike traditional mattresses that can wear out and sag, a Tempur-Pedic bed will feel like a brand new bed every single night for years and years of comfort. We invite you to learn more about our science and experience our soul. Welcome to Tempur-Pedic. Welcome to bed.
Allie, stop by Em and Julie. You'll see her at school. No candy, mister.
Moms see things ordinary humans can't.
Use a glass.
Even on dishes. So they use Dawn with Bleach Alternative. It's the only dish liquid with a unique ingredient that deep cleans to remove food residue you can't even see.
Honey, have you... Nice catch.
A drop of Dawn and grease is gone.
No matter what your dishes go through, there's new Cascade Complete with Bleach Hydro Clean Action. It cleans even residue you can't see. So your dishes are every bit as clean as they look. For money-saving coupons, visit dishcare.com.
From the Black Sea resort of Sochi, Russia, the search for Mrs. World 2007 continues.
We found our top 10, but what we're really after is our top 12, a dazzling dozen from which we'll select the brand new Mrs. World. And that means we need 2 more names.
So, if our remaining ladies will all take a big, deep breath, here's their absolutely positively last chance, the first of our 2 bonus competition winners, and our 11th semifinalist is Mrs. Belarus.
And that leaves only one, Mrs. Canada. Congratulations, and we have our top 12.
And just as fast as we found them, the final elimination process begins. From this moment on, our judges will be watching and comparing and eliminating.
So excited.
I made it, baby, I made it.
I mean, seriously, what's the criteria you choose to top 12? The dumbest? Really? I mean, come on, tell me. What is it? You tell me. You're the producer. The dumbest?
I'm not one of the judges.
I mean, the movie Insipid. What is your criteria? Come on. You have so much, and you give it away. What is it that you want?
I think we acted enough, like we were acting the whole time while we were going out with the cameras everywhere. I think it's about time that we stopped the act.
I am so wasting my time here 2 weeks, I could have made so much money doing my business.
Honey, you met me. Why? What a waste of time.
So waste of my time. My time is so much easier. And I am so much easier.
Be happy you met me.
Yeah, there you are.
We're going to break a heart and lose our first semifinalist in just moments.
But first, a special moment and a special treat as we take a closer look at our top 12 in this year's Mrs. World swimsuit competition. Ladies, take it away.
This is Germany. Mrs. Germany is 30 years old, a graduate of the College of Higher Education. She's a marketing assistant and has been married for 1 year to Renee, a real estate broker. This is Estonia. Mrs. Estonia is 26 years old, attended the Social Humanitarian Institute. She's a manager, has been married for 6 years to Igor, a general director of racing. They're the parents of 2 boys. This is China. Mrs. China is 28 years old and attended the Beijing Language College. She's a model and sales manager and has been married for 3 years to a business director. They're the parents of 1 child. This is Israel. Mrs. Israel is 33 years old and attended the College of Tel Aviv. She's a dance teacher, model, and mother. She's been married for 10 years to Gil, a designer. They're the parents of 2 young boys. This is Kenya. Mrs. Kenya is 37 years old and graduated from the Bergen Community College. She's a homemaker, has been married for 4 years to David, a custom house broker, and they're the parents of 4. This is America. Mrs. America is 29 years old, graduated from the University of Arizona in Tucson. She's a mortgage account executive, has been married for 5 years to Thomas, a firefighter. This is Ukraine. Mrs. Ukraine is 26 years old and graduated from the Odessa State University. She organizes children's talent competitions. She's been married for 1 year to Alexander, the company president. They're the parents of 1 son. This is Guatemala. Mrs. Guatemala is 23 years old and graduated from the Galileo University of Guatemala. She's a model and a student. Has been married for 2 years to Jose, a dentist. They're the parents of 1 daughter. This is Poland. Mrs. Poland is 31 years old, graduated from the University of Warsaw. She's a press officer, has been married for 2 years to Merat, a marketing manager. This is South Africa. Mrs. South Africa is 38 years old and graduated from South Africa's Goodstead College of Education. She's a radio and motivational speaker, has been married for 14 years to Chris, business executive. They're the parents of 2 children. This is Belarus. Mrs. Belarus is 27 years old and a student policewoman. She's been married for 4 years. Her husband is a businessman. Mrs. Canada. Mrs. Canada is 34 years old and graduated from Ontario's Fanshawe College. She's a former kindergarten teacher, now a stay-at-home mom, and has been married for 8 years to Grant, the company president, with the parents of 2. There they are, the top 12 contestants for the title Mrs. World 2007.
Our beautiful top 12 ladies are here together for the first and last time because it's already time for the very first judges' elimination of the evening.
Ladies, I'd like to ask Mrs. Belarus, Mrs. Israel, Mrs. Canada, and Mrs. Poland to come on down. Well, I can tell you this. I have good news for at least one of you. But one or more of you will be eliminated.
We get to the good news first. One of you is absolutely safe and not being eliminated. That one is Mrs. Israel. You are safe. Congratulations.
Coming up next on Mrs. World 2007, one or more of these 3 contestants will be eliminated from the competition. And later,
it was destroyed by Russian forces.
Machine guns and armored vehicles surround the contestants as they journey to one of the most dangerous places in Russia.
It's not the girls, the countries are going to.
Tension mounts backstage as the competition heats up.
I know the work. I talk the talk, I walk the walk, and this is... What do you want?
Discover the fate of these 3 contestants. Mrs. Belarus, Mrs. Canada, Mrs. Poland. Will one be eliminated or all 3? Find out when Mrs. World 2007 from Sochi, Russia continues.
It's hard enough being a woman trapped in a man's body.
If I can't be who I am, then I'd rather be dead.
Try being locked in a men's prison along with it.
What am I doing here? I'm not supposed to be here.
You're creating quite a sideshow in this place.
They told me that I was never going to leave the prison alive.
Take a hard look at the women doing the hardest time of all.
She looks like a girl, she walks like a girl. She doesn't want to give it up, then fine, they're going to take it.
Next Monday at 10 p.m., catch the premiere of Cruel and Unusual Transgender Women in Prison, a WeTV Spotlight special.
Excuse me, while I slip into something fabulous. My hair color. It's Garnier Nutrice. Rich, radiant color. Only Nutrice nourishes with grapeseed and double the avocado oil. And you know, nourished hair takes color better and holds it longer, root to tip. Slip into something fabulous. Garnier Nutrice. Nourished hair, even better color. Garnier.
And now Garnier introduces Nutrition East, a skincare first. Look for it in stores.
It has arrived, the next generation of pregnancy test. It's designed breathtakingly simple. Without a doubt, it is the most sophisticated piece of technology you will ever pee on. Clear Blue Easy Digital Pregnancy Test. So advanced, it's easy. Trying to get pregnant? The Clear Blue Easy Digital Ovulation Test shows your 2 best days to conceive with a digital smiley face results.
Now Avon treats wrinkles and lines fast. Introducing a new clinical advanced wrinkle corrector. Our #1 wrinkle treatment. Now with 50% more glycolic acid. It plumps fine lines immediately. Begins boosting collagen within 48 hours. Your deepest lines begin to disappear in 2 weeks. So bye-bye wrinkles. Hello, beautiful skin. A new clinical advanced wrinkle corrector. Call your Avon representative for a brochure and say hello tomorrow.
So, you have dry, cracked, scaly feet and heels, and moisturizing hasn't helped? It's not enough to take care of your feet. Take cure of your feet with Lamisil AT Cream. That condition you have may be a type of athlete's foot. Lamisil AT is clinically proven to cure it. For beautifully healthy feet, take cure of your feet with Lamisil AT. Now, to keep those fabulous feet silky smooth, try Lamisilk Intensive Foot Therapy. Now in your foot care aisle, go to TakeCure.com for great savings.
Febreze Noticeables. It makes even the most unlikely rooms likable.
Come on, on, we've been in there forever. In a minute.
Febreze Noticeables has alternating scents to renew the freshness and eliminates odors in the air caused by bacteria.
What were you doing in there so long?
Febreze Noticeables in 2 new scents. It's always that fresh.
No matter how pampered the dog, no matter how strong, all dogs have one thing in common. They can all be infected by potentially deadly heartworm disease, but they can all easily be protected with HeartGuard Plus. It's the real beef chewable dogs love to take, so you can be confident your pet is protected. HeartGuard Plus is the #1 choice of vets and pets for safe, proven protection.
All dogs should be tested for heartworm infection before starting a preventive program. HeartGuard Plus is well tolerated. In rare cases, digestive and neurological side effects have been reported. For more information, contact your veterinarian.
Now save up to $6 when you purchase HeartGuard Plus from your veterinarian. Call 1-877-WORM-FREE. That's 1-877-967-6373. Ask your vet about HeartGuard Plus. Easy to give, protection to live.
Welcome back to the 2007 Mrs. World contest from Sochi, Russia. Right now, let's look back at some of the sights and sounds our contestants experienced on their road to tonight's competition.
Some of the contestants began their travels to Russia 3 weeks before tonight's contest. Their first stop, Moscow, where they joined some of the other delegates.
We're in Moscow and we are about to go into the Red Square. Follow me.
These early arrivals see Moscow's most famous monuments: St. Basil's Cathedral, Lenin's tomb, and the impressive Kremlin.
Cold.
Then, at the break of dawn, these ladies are whisked away on a private jet to an unknown destination.
Coming from Moscow, this is nice. This is really beautiful weather, and we're so excited that we're moving to all my grounds.
The delegates have arrived in Chechnya.
I'm ready for an adventure in Chechnya.
Chechnya is a Russian republic, much like a state in the U.S. But back in 1991, when the Soviet Union collapsed, the president of Chechnya declared its independence. That started years of fighting between the Chechnyan rebels and the Russian government, which left the country near ruin. In 2003, Akhmat Kadyrov is elected president, and a new constitution enshrines the country's position with Russia. But a year later, Akhmat is assassinated. Today, his son, Ramzan, is the president, and has invited the Mrs. World contestants on a peace mission to his home. The adventure begins with a caravan of SUVs waiting to take them through this war-torn republic.
To bring us over here, we know it's going to be safe for us. He would invite us, so we felt pretty okay about it.
For safety purposes, security is on high alert and no one is informed of the minute-to-minute agenda.
Traveling at very high speed, the convoy races down a heavily guarded highway, with the ladies equally anxious and excited about this amazing side trip.
I was kind of wondering why we have so much security, but I'm thinking that there's so many different countries represented here, and you know, every country has an enemy, so we really feel safe that they're taking such good care of us.
First stop.
As you good luck in the contest with this country. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
A welcoming committee greets the women and performs traditional Chechnyan dances.
A magnificent feast awaits, and the delegates are treated like royalty.
I feel queen is perfect.
Next stop, a youth center where the local artisans display their work for all to enjoy. Then it's inside for an evening of traditional music and dance.
I'm moving here. Do that, I'm moving to Russia.
The next day, the ladies are hurried off to the capital city of Grozny.
The place where first our presidential palace was built, so later on it was destroyed by Russian forces.
Oh, wow. So overwhelming, everything that I've seen today. What a transition from what I saw on the television, the buildings broken and war, and the next thing I see is really progress and transition, happy people.
After paying their respects, the international entourage learns they are invited to visit the new presidential palace to exchange gifts with the new president of Chechnya.
Esto es una cara de uno de los indígenas de mi país. Una máscara.
The ladies are delighted with all the media attention. It's not just another photo op, but a celebration of their visit and their mission of peace to this unsettled land.
While President Ramzan Kadyrov dines with the women, he becomes enchanted by Mrs. Kenya, and he asks how he might acquire her as a second wife.
And we're all having a lot of fun. He said, oh, in Africa, if you wanted to marry a girl, you have to give 2 horses, 2 goats, 4 chickens, and a barrel of fish. And I'm thinking it's a joke. So after lunch, we took pictures with him, and we were walking out. And the first thing that caught my eye when I walked out was a goat. Then I see these 2 horses and the 4 chickens, and I knew, oh no, this is my dowry right there.
Over the years, the problems of the Republic of Chechnya have overshadowed the people of Chechnya's humor and enjoyment of life. But as our delegates learned, the Republic is rebuilding, and President Ramzan is bringing back stability to his people.
Back on stage at Mrs. World 2007, Mrs. Poland, Mrs. Belarus, and Mrs. Canada wait anxiously for the judges' decision as to who will stay and who will be eliminated.
Mrs. Canada, how does it feel to know that you're on the bubble and perhaps just moments away from being eliminated?
Honestly, I'm very okay with it because I know that any one of these women back here will be a great representative for Mrs. World, and I'm having a great time. Thank you.
You know, I wish there was something else I could say right now, but you know, sometimes in the Mrs. World competition there is disappointment, and then sometimes there is heartbreak. I'm sorry to inform all 3 of you that you've all been eliminated. Thank you, all of you. It's all 3. I'm sorry. Whew. That's not easy.
All right, ladies, we are backstage, and we have just hit elimination out of our top 12. How are you 3 feeling right now?
Wow, c'est la vie. I am very happy that I could be there, but I'm very happy that I can come back home with my husband.
It's always nice to go on, but I'm also relieved that I can go back and join the rest of the girls and have a great night. We'll cheer those girls on, though.
Who cares? I go back to my life anyway. I don't give a damn. Good luck for them and great bright future.
I'm sorry that it's coming to an end and that I have to say goodbye to these ladies. But I'm glad that I get to go home to my husband and my daughter.
No sore losers here, which makes these women even more beautiful, if you ask me.
2 more days, and we will become the day after.
Every year, Mrs. World points out that we're only as good as our judges panel, which this year is particularly good.
Our first judge has been watching beautiful women for years, covering the stars for Entertainment Tonight, Showtime, ETV, and more. Please welcome Hollywood reporter extraordinaire, Mr. Bill Harris.
Next, an honored teacher of the Russian Federation. She is chief of the education department of Sochi and a vice mayor of our wonderful host city, Irina Badian.
This gentleman is involved in all areas of entertainment, fashion, technology, and new media. His clients have ranged from Playboy to Madonna's Maverick Films. Phil Viardo.
This mother of three is a well-known Russian businesswoman and the president of charity fundraising, a resident of Moscow, Tatiana Mihalkova.
And finally, he is a vice mayor of Sochi, charged with helping turn Sochi into a worldwide destination resort and a hopeful Winter Olympics host, Konstantin Mishenko.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us salute the distinguished judges panel for Mrs. World 2007.
Coming up next on Mrs. World 2007, it's the formal wear competition and something completely different.
He's been going around asking us all to vote her back in.
The contestants get to vote one of the eliminated ladies back into the competition. Who gets voted back into the contest? Find out when Mrs. World 2007 from Sochi, Russia continues.
Our first runner-up is Jamie Crawford.
7 years as runner-up could run a girl down. Not this girl.
Some people drink, some people do drugs. I do pageants.
Now Miss Runner-Up has one last chance.
She's too blonde. She's too thin.
Maybe make a change and see what happens.
This time she'll use her head.
I love having dark hair.
And everything else she's got to turn this one into a win. Tonight at 10, it's the premiere of Miss Runner-Up, a WeTV Spotlight special.
From the author of The Hours.
Close your eyes and think of a time when you were happy.
This Friday, experience this summer's must-see movie, starring the greatest actresses of our time. It's about the choices we make.
Mom, I'm pregnant. Baby is a wonderful thing.
And the love that fills our lives.
We are mysterious creatures, aren't we?
Evening, rated PG-13. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Before you know it, it's gone. BOGO. Buy one, get one half off. Now at Payless.
People are smart. And when it comes to home loans, they don't want smoke and mirrors. They want a smart rate, like our 30-year fixed mortgage around 6 1/8%. Call 1-800-DITEC-1 now to get a loan without being sawed in half. DITEC. People are smart.
Oh no, look, we're sleeping, right? Anthony, sleepy time.
It's not easy going it alone. That's why we're making it easier than ever to get a State Farm agent for car insurance. Call an agent's office 24/7. Stop by or go to statefarm.com to get an agent who's there for you. Online, on the phone, or in the office. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Julie, what's wrong with you? This works much better.
Messes are a part of life. Soak them up with the only cloth-like paper towel, Viva. So soft, so tough. Even when wet. Soak up life with Viva towels.
Experience a world of freshness in your fabrics. Awaken your senses to a feeling that's fresher than clean. Introducing a new Ultra Downy. With a freshness you'll feel and smell and even see, virtually free of static. A total experience of freshness from new Downy. For a sample, go to downy.com.
I teach high school, and the last thing I want the kids to say is, Miss Sack sweats all the time. I've tried a lot of different antiperspirants, but I've never really found one that worked for me. When you perspire a lot, you become very self-conscious. I always felt like I had to keep my arms by my side. You do not want to be standing in front of a bunch of 15-year-old kids with wetness stains. That's why I'm so happy I discovered Secret Clinical Strength Antiperspirant.
New doctor-endorsed Secret Clinical Strength gives you prescription-strength wetness protection without a prescription. Its triple-layer technology delivers a first layer of clinically proven wetness protection, a second layer of odor-fighting microcapsules, and a third layer of skin-soothing conditioners. It's so effective. It stops wetness better than the leading invisible solid.
Since I've been using Secret Clinical Strength, I feel like I never have to worry about sweating. I can get close to my students without feeling self-conscious about odor. It's just taken that whole issue out of my life and totally empowered me. Secret Clinical Strength Antiperspirant has changed my life. It really has.
Go online for a valuable special offer for new Secret Clinical Strength. Secret. Strong like a woman.
Welcome back to the search for a new Mrs. World from the Black Sea Resort of Sochi, Russia.
Welcome back. The search for Mrs. World gets hotter and hotter, and we come closer and closer to finding the world's #1 married woman.
If we could ask Mrs. Kenya and Mrs. Guatemala to come join us, you know what can happen. You may be eliminated or you may be saved.
Can you safe or out?
Kenya, no, Guatemala safe. No, Guatemala safe.
I know. Guatemala safe. I know.
She's not the girls, it's the country they're going for.
I know.
It's not the girls, it's the country they're going for.
Mrs. Guatemala, there is no easy way to do this. Mrs. Kenya is going to have to leave us now.
You made it to the top 10.
Well, at least you made it to the top 10. Be happy about that.
No, I'm very happy. Through here. We are so hungry and tired. We just don't care who wins. We just want food.
Usually they should have nasty stuff on the back, but nobody has anything. No water, no coffee, no tea, no food, no nothing. You're just sitting in the back like a bunch of dummies.
Every year, one of the most stunning parts of Mrs. World is the unbelievable formal wear competition. It's grand, it's glamorous. Let the formal wear begin.
This is Germany.
We are all competitors, but for me it's very important to know them better, to know her country better, to be friends, and to have a lot of fun. For me, the most important thing to be here.
This is Estonia.
It's an honor for me to represent my country. This is a small country, but still, I am proud that I represent it.
This is China.
Every woman has the dream of wearing the crown. I, too, have the dream. But after seeing all the women here, I think everyone is beautiful.
This is Israel.
I'm here because I want to present the motherhood, that I want to show the world that after 30 years old and you have children at home, you can do things to yourself. You can have something to do with this world.
This is America.
You know, a friend of mine told me that you're not really competing. It's not, even though it's called the Mrs. World competition, you're not really competing. You're more excelling. And I think that's what we're all doing. We're excelling within ourselves. So, yes, it is a competition, but I think just knowing that we're representing our countries is just a wonderful thing.
This is Ukraine.
I write my own songs. I'm a compositor, and I try to make my own show. And also I'm a manager, chief manager of a national committee of Mrs. Ukraine South.
This is Guatemala.
I try to do my best so that the people of my country will welcome me when I come back and that they will be proud of me.
This is South Africa.
It's been amazing. It's been a fantastic year for our family. I think that is what it was all about. It was a blessing because my husband and kids enjoyed it with me. We did it as a family. We did it to do everything with our hearts, and we put so much effort into it.
And there they are, our contestants for the title of Mrs. World 2007.
We've told you that the most remarkable and beautiful women become Mrs. World. And now it is time to prove it as we introduce the stunning Russian beauty who won the competition last year in St. Petersburg.
Please welcome the lovely 19-year-old ballerina and housewife from Moscow who danced away with the crown 1 year ago. Ladies and gentlemen, Sofia Arjakovskaya.
I know that you visit America, I heard. How did you find that?
It was a great time. It was the first time when I come to America. And I met Mrs. America when Mrs. Arizona was a winner. And now she's here. And I want to say her good luck, like for everybody, women who here now.
I'm sure they all appreciate it. Now it is time for a royal tradition as Mrs. World 2006 takes her farewell walk. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. World 2006.
Now it's time for a message directed at everyone watching the competition on WeTV. It concerns you or your sister, your mother, or a friend.
It's like all the women in your life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't just want to be watching the pageant, you want to be part of it. And if you have any thought at all about the Mrs. America pageant, or you think a friend should be here, don't just sit there. Go online for all the information at www.mrsamerica.com. Or write to us at Mrs. America, 2412 Wilshire Boulevard, Santa Monica, California. Zip 90403 USA. This summer, the reigning Mrs. America will be crowning a brand new Mrs. America at the spectacular Lowe's Montana Canyon Resort in Tucson, Arizona. Someone's going to win. Maybe it's your turn.
Now we move forward as we ask Mrs. Germany, Mrs. Estonia, Mrs. Israel, and Mrs. Ukraine to please come down here right now.
Ladies, from formal wear to a formal announcement. Mrs. Estonia, you're safe. You remain in the top 5. For the rest of you 3, unfortunately, your journey has come to an end. I'm very sorry. You have our best wishes. Thank you very much.
I can't wait like that. More like the Hollywood movie. Why do you think that they don't? It's all planned. It's all planned. It's all planned. I don't know how you came out. I don't know. I don't know how she came out. It's not even. It's all planned. It's all planned. Politics. All planned.
We told you Mrs. World was like no other competition you've ever seen. The ladies are about to right a wrong. They are going to totally overrule the judges and vote their favorite, their friendship, and vote a woman back into the game.
One lady is going to get a second chance at the competition and even at the crown. And who knows, the ladies might even vote in the next Mrs. World. Who would you want to bring back? We'll find out who she is when we come right back.
So who do you think is going to be voted back in?
She's been going around asking us all to vote her back in. She's great. She's a lot of fun. She's a wonderful candidate.
So I gave you what you need next. It's going to be, you guys are going to go to one. You'll be at center series.
Coming up next on the Mrs. World contest from Sochi, Russia, the eliminated contestants vote one of themselves back into the competition.
I am very happy about you are voting for me.
But some of the contestants aren't too happy with the result.
I know I called the shots. I can have 10 judges, but I know I called the shots.
All that and more when Mrs. World 2007 from Sochi, Russia returns.
Our first runner-up is Jamie Crawford.
7 years as runner-up could run a girl down. Not this girl.
Some people drink, some people do drugs. Heidi Patton.
Now Miss Runner-Up has one last chance.
She's too blonde. She's too thin.
Maybe make a change and see what happens.
This time, she'll use her head.
I love having dark hair.
And everything else she's got to turn this one into a win. Next, it's the premiere of Miss Runner-Up, a WeTV Spotlight special.
Fellas, now you've gone too far.
Fig Newtons, packed with that real fruit taste. It's the cookie that thinks it's a fruit.
The Negotiator's having a summer flight sale. So through July 4th, he's cut prices on every single flight at Priceline.com. Just choose your exact flight and save over other travel sites, proving once again that no one deals like we do. Priceline.
Ergonomically designed to hug the curves of your body. Kotex pads with wings have a unique, gently raised center that conforms to fit like no other pad. Test drive it for yourself. For your free sample, visit KotexWings.com. Kotex fits, period.
Are you one of the millions of people who think you just can't learn a second language? The problem isn't that you can't learn. It's that you've been using the wrong method. Well, thanks to our breakthrough software called Rosetta Stone, learning a new language is now incredibly easy and a whole lot faster.
I've probably learned more in the first 2 weeks than I have in months of taking formal classes.
Unlike traditional methods that require hours of tedious translation and memorization, with Rosetta Stone, you're actively engaged in each lesson. From the very beginning, you'll see real-life images and hear native speakers.
El caballo está saltando.
This powerful combination teaches you to think in a new language, not memorize, so speaking comes naturally. You learn far more easily and more quickly.
I've used a lot of different mediums, the books, the tapes, and it just, bar none, it's the best one that I've ever used.
I was one of those people who thought they could not learn a language, and I needed to learn a language for my job, so I needed to learn Spanish. And I learned Spanish quickly, and I did it through Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone is so fast and effective, it's used by the U.S. State Department, NASA, the FBI, and top Fortune 500 companies, and is the world's leading language learning software.
It's almost like having your own person there teaching you, your own private tutor who is just very relaxed in your home with you, sitting there teaching you the language.
Rosetta Stone is the fastest way to learn a new language. And to prove it, we'll send you our amazing demo CD absolutely free when you call. There's no obligation to buy. Right away, you'll see for yourself just how fast and easy it is to learn a new language with Rosetta Stone.
This really is a great program.
I believe that you can learn any language with this program.
If you're serious about learning a language, there's no easier way to do it than with Rosetta Stone.
Call the number on your screen now and see for yourself why Rosetta Stone is the fastest way to learn a language, guaranteed.
You love your pet. You don't have to love his hair. A bounce sheet in the dryer helps repel unwanted pet hair throughout the day. To your dryer and add some bounce to your day. See the amazing results at bounceeverywhere.com.
You got a full tank of gas. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. You won't get married.
It's better than ice cream.
Edited say.
Controlling the universe. From the Black Sea resort of Sochi, Russia, welcome back to Mrs. World 2007.
You know, here at the Mrs. World competition, it's not over until the ladies themselves have spoken. I know that from experience. In a unique part of our show, the ladies have now voted and chosen a special favorite they want back in the running.
Oh, Russia, Kenya.
Kenya, Poland, and Russia were called out, and one of those will be voted back in.
The top vote getter could have been anyone. A friend, a roommate, the most popular, the quietest. But each lovely lady got a vote and a chance to bring back the woman they most want to have a second chance. The ladies have spoken. One of you is back in the competition.
I am thrilled to announce the ladies want you back in the running, Mrs. Kenya. You've been given a total second chance. Why do you think that they voted you back in?
Like I said, we spent 3 weeks with these women. Every day we are together with them. We talk about our projects, what we are all about. They know us for who we truly are and not just what we can put on stage. And I must really appreciate the fact that they have looked at me and seen that I could be the best representative for them out there in the world. And I know that inside me, I am the best there will ever be. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I actually voted for Malaysia.
No, I am very happy. I am very happy that you are voting for me.
But you were eliminated
I think the more important judges. Yeah. You are my really friend. Yes. She's my favorite.
In just a matter of minutes, one very excited woman will get the sparkling jeweled crown and sash of the brand new Mrs. World. But there's a whole lot more because the Mrs. World treasure chest is a big one with prizes that are truly fit for a queen. Here are some of the fabulous rewards our new winner will be taking home with her.
World-famous Levion Jewelry will present the new Mrs. World with a spectacular collection of shimmering jewelry, including Levion Couture pink and yellow diamond necklaces, sparkling earrings, and elegant bracelets. These distinguished Levion collections feature some of the most exquisite chocolate diamonds in the world. She will also receive elegant his and hers diamond Swiss-made watches from Levion Time for a combined jewelry prize package valued at $10,000. Mrs. World will also receive a selection of stunning and elegant evening gowns presented by Ramona of New York, valued at $5,000. She'll also receive beautifully designed crystal handbags from Sam of Avenue H for that special evening on the town, valued at $5,000. Also, the winner receives a specially designed Mrs. World 14-karat gold medallion, and for her husband, a 14-karat gold money clip, together valued at $5,000. Mrs. World will receive a collection of Carol Weir's patented slim suit, the swimsuit that guarantees an inch or more off the waist and stomach by just slipping it on. She'll also be the recipient of more than $3,000 in resort merchandise and cash from Carol Weir Swimwear. The newly crowned Mrs. World is sure to stand out in the crowd, wearing this luxurious pink knitted 3/4 length coat designed for the new generation. It's from Edwards Lowell Furs of Beverly Hills and is valued at $5,000. The newly crowned Mrs. World will receive an all-expense-paid trip to Tucson, Arizona, where she'll appear on this year's 30th anniversary Mrs. America Network TV special. And Mrs. World will also fly to an exotic location somewhere in the world to appear on next year's internationally televised Mrs. World special.
We're standing beside the 6 finalists. One of you is just minutes away from wearing a brand new crown.
Ladies, you've come all the way here, the Russian Riviera town of Sochi, for the Mrs. World competition. Now there is only one more step, and it's over.
Well, we all said that, but American for hosting. We all said
I mean, I'm an event organizer. I know I call the shots. I can have 10 judges, but I know I call the shots, and I know how it works. I know how events goes. I know this. I know the work. I talk the talk, I walk the walk, and this is, what do you want? How do you define your Mrs. World?
There you go.
Wait, what? Sorry.
I'm going to the far side. You guys are both going to two.
And I'm staying on my side.
Yeah.
And then we go in the back.
Yeah.
And then we come up through the middle
Right.
after.
There you go. Okay, off they go. Here they come. Questions in the hand.
I get back to my life, and I'm going to be the Mrs. World because I'm going to be the most powerful woman in Asia in 5 years' time, and I'm going to be the most powerful woman in the world in 10 years' time. You have it on tape. Mark my words. Watch me do it.
We have one final question for each of our 6 finalists. It will go a long way toward helping our judges decide on their final choice for the title.
Backstage, you drew to see which order you'd answer.
First up is Mrs. Estonia. What is the most important thing you learned from the other contestants in the Mrs. World competition?
Я думаю, прежде всего, любовь.
In my mind, there's love that we will treasure and cherish for the rest of our lives. And all of these women were just amazing. So that's what I will have at the end of the show.
Это тепло в сердце у меня останется на всю жизнь.
Mrs. America, what surprised you most about your Mrs. World experience here in Sochi?
I think what surprised me most was how sincere all the contestants were. We are all here for one reason, and that is to further promote our community service platforms to a global level. And we all have such amazing platforms. We have mentoring children. Myself, I have breast cancer awareness because I've had 3 women in my family affected by breast cancer. And I think that's just amazing how sincere people are, that they go out into their communities and promote and help encourage to raise funds and save lives as well.
And to our 3rd finalist, Mrs. China. How important is the Mrs. World concept in today's world?
I'm very grateful that I'm here at this contest because right now in the town of Sochi, I feel just like at home. Thank you, everyone.
Right. This is Guatemala. If you were voted Mrs. World and you were in charge of the world, what would you do first?
Okay, bueno, si yo fuera como un presidente en el mundo.
If I were the president of the world, I would help the entire world. I would help the children and prevent the poverty we have in the world, and teach the people who really need education.
Gente que necesita mucha educación, realmente. Gracias.
And our 5th finalist, Mrs. South Africa. If you were to write a question for a Mrs. World finalist, what would that question be?
First of all, dobre wieczór. That's what I learned in Russian. If I were to write a question for Mrs. World, it would be, what would you do with a crown? Because to me, the crown is only a means to an end. It's not about the crown being placed on your head, but what you will be able to do for other people with that crown. Because I think in today's life, it's much better to give than to receive. You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give.
And now, a question for our 6th and last finalist, Mrs. Kenya. Why did you decide to represent your country in the Mrs. World competition?
The reason why I decided to represent my country is, first of all, because I'm a Kenyan, and I am so proud of my country, and I want my country to be known out there. I'm also representing every woman in my country who is married and who is educated and who holds very strong family values. and also because our country is one of the richest countries, rich because of the people who are in it, and also rich in resources. And I am so proud to stand here today to represent every married woman of my country, Kenya.
Thank you.
That's it, ladies. And now the judges take over. Within minutes, we'll crown a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, help us thank and salute our 6 finalists for the title of Mrs. World.
The rules for the Mrs. World pageant are simple. You must be 18 years of age or older. You must be a married woman, of course, and you must be a citizen of the country you represent. That's all there is to it.
You know, there's no greater excitement than to be lucky enough to be chosen to represent the married women of an entire country, your own country. And over the years, we've seen that it can happen to anyone. If you would like to become part of the excitement, or you know someone who would, just go to www.mrsworld.com or write to us at Mrs. World, 2412 Wilshire Boulevard, Santa Monica, California, 90403 USA. The competition gets more exciting every year, and maybe next year will be your year. You'll never know if you don't try.
We're about to name the #1 married woman in the world. Will it be your favorite? We'll crown a winner when we return.
Coming up next on Mrs. World 2007 from Sochi, Russia, it's down to the top 6. And in just a few minutes, one of these contestants will be crowned with the new Mrs. World. Don't go away. 2007. And now, please welcome the Sochi Children's Dance Company. And now it's time to select the new Mrs. World.
Congratulations, ladies. And then the top vote could have been anyone. A friend, a roommate, blah, 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 blah. And then Adrian will announce who the winner is. Copy. So Adrian, you're getting this first.
Okay, I get that. I get that.
Yeah. And we're going right out to center, right by these gals. And anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back all the contestants of the Mrs. World 2007 contest. And now, please welcome back the top 12 contestants selected by the judges. And now, please put your hands together for our top 6 finalists. This is Estonia. This is America. This is China. This is Guatemala. This is South Africa. and Mrs. Kenya.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 6 finalists for the title of Mrs. World. From the accounting firm of the Paratet Auditing Company in Sochi, we welcome Natalia Siganuk as I say these 6 magic words. May I have the envelope? Spasiba. We have the results, and now it's time to find our brand new Mrs. World. With our love and great wishes to each of you, we announce that our 5th runner-up is Mrs. South Africa.
Somewhere between disappointment and relief, we announce that our 4th runner-up is Mrs. Kenya.
We are just seconds away from crowning a new Mrs. World. Deep breaths all. Our 3rd runner-up is Mrs. China.
There are just 3 of you here on the stage in Russia's Winter Theater. We have to find just one. Our 2nd runner-up is Mrs. Estonia.
Ladies, it could not possibly be any closer. In just seconds, one of you will be named 1st runner-up, and the other will be our brand new Mrs. World. If the winner cannot fulfill her obligations in the coming year for any reason, the runner-up will assume the title, the crown, and all the duties.
So, Mrs. America, Mrs. Guatemala, it's time for that final deep breath of the competition as I announce that the brand new Mrs. World is Mrs. America. Congratulations.
It's the last thing on her mind right now, but there is a royal treasury of prizes to fit for Queen Arzarina, waiting for a brand new Mrs. World.
She keeps the bejeweled crown, of course, but there are precious jewels and more awaiting the former Mrs. America.
From Levium Jewelry, she'll receive diamond necklaces, sparkling earrings, and elegant bracelets.
Plus, there's more from Levion, his and her diamond Swiss-made watches.
From Ramona of New York, she has won elegant evening gowns.
She has also won beautifully designed crystal handbags from Sam of Avenue H.
But that's not all, Christopher. She's also won a specially designed 14-karat gold Mrs. World medallion.
An entire collection of Carol Weir swimwear.
Our newly crowned Mrs. World is sure to stand out in the crowd wearing her new pink knitted 3/4 length fur coat.
And an all-expenses paid trip for 2 to the Loews Ventana Resort in Tucson, Arizona for the crowning of Mrs. America 2007.
And our new Mrs. World will crown Mrs. World 2008 in an exotic international destination.
One reign has ended, and now a new one has just begun. Mrs. World Russia, passing her title to Mrs. World America.
And right now, it's time for our winner's very first walk in front of family, friends, and a worldwide audience, thanks to WeTV, as we present a wonderful and glowing Mrs. World 2007.
What a wonderful time we've had here on the faraway romantic shores of Russia's Black Sea. From the elegant Winter Theater in the resort town of Sochi, thank you for joining us.
And a special thanks to all of our wonderful friends at WeTV for carrying the pageantry and excitement. Thanks for joining us this year. I'm Adrienne Curry. For my husband Christopher, we'll see you next year for Mrs. World 2008.